the first minutes of July 20th and I'm going to Italy to watch Rammstein. Besides that, I have no plan because my lovely wife planned the whole trip. So, let's go. I'm in Italy and it's 7:30 p.m. Actually, I left home at midnight and I went from Ankara to Istanbul. I need to do a transit flight, and from Ankara to Istanbul was 1 hour, and then I waited for 3 or 3.5 for the flight from Istanbul to Milano, but also there were 2 hours of delay, so it completely my sleep schedule. Anyway, we arrived to Italy and then we took the train for half an hour or maybe 40 minutes and then we walked for nearly 2 kilometers and finally we arrived to the hotel at 2 p.m. and I was totally exhausted. I directly went into sleep and I slept for 3 or 4 hours and it's 7:30 now and you can see how exhausted I am just from my eyes. As you can see, I'm not in my best condition. We went to a pizza place and it was closed, and then we saw a kebab restaurant and we didn't go there because it's kebab and we are Turkish. It's kind of meaningless. And then we saw a sushi place. It was also kind of boring because we're in Italy and now we are looking for some proper eating place.
One eternity later.
Guess where we landed? Merhaba. So at the end of the day, we ate some döner and some so-called margarita pizza, but actually it was more like a Turkish food, which is pide. The dough is kind of juicier, thicker, and it was fine, but it's funny. As a Turk, we bumped into Turkish chefs and we talked about Turkey for a little bit, and now we are going back to the hotel, and that's it for today. Tomorrow is the Rammstein day. So, day 2, we just went for a little bit of coffee and croissants because we are in Europe, like we never ate 2 kilograms of food as a breakfast as some Turkish people. Anyway, today is Rammstein day and before going to the concert, we will visit some places and let's start the day. Series with lots of different specifications because of their production. Right now I'm trying to update the information of the video because it's Sunday and I have to make this video online. Besides all of the touristic stuff, I still have to work on the channel. Now we left the hotel to visit a market to check some antique stuff. I know you are following this channel for guitar or amplifier reviews and it feels like a touristic channel, but it's once in a lifetime experience for me. Because of it, I'm sharing all of the stuff. I hope you enjoy it. First we will take the underground and then we will be there and we will check all of the stuff. I hope I can find some interesting material. I can use some of them in a music video or stuff like that. I always enjoy, especially the World War II stuff. So let's find out. can be a good place for promo shots for metal bands. Actually, all the country is really nice because there are lots of places to do. And in Turkey, it's kind of hard because all we have is some undergrounds with graffitis or wood forests, etc. And it's kind of cool to have it. You know, there are lots of cool places with some vintage or old, I'm not sure what it is, baroque, but it's really nice. It's really cool. You can see Turks are everywhere and we already conquered the world with our kebab. And here's the mighty Duomo church with some other cool buildings. I'm not sure what are they. As my wife said, they spent 600 years to build this thing. So we ordered some food but we devoured it because of it. You can't see them. But it was nice, it was fine. But it's not something special. After 3 hours of train trip, we arrived to the place. It's really cool, it's really nice. I think it's an old industrial place. As you can see, the crane, the factory type of building. We are also a little bit late to the show because of the delay of the train and also my fat ass because I tried to find a McDonald's and I found it. And now we missed 3 or 4 tracks, 3 or 4 songs, but it's okay. Also, this place is huge. I never saw a place big like this. We passed maybe 6 or 7 gates and we are still walking. Magnificent. You can see this type of stuff in Turkey. It's probably an industrial benchmark, maybe. It's totally mesmerizing, at least for me. This place has different zones with different color codes, and you can find your own area just by following those lines. And it's a magnificent track. Let's try to record this.
Songs of mine, lustige Hits. Heller, Scheibenabend für Marke. Griechen aus dem Keller und werden unter eure Zeug sehen. Ich habe alles mitgemacht. Ein Heller, Scheibenabend, ein Jammer, ein Herz brennt. Mein Herz.
My favorites from the latest album. No, not the latest. Before that. Especially I really like the Tilt's vocals. Now, let's see it.
Wenn Schwesterlein zur Arbeit muss, schließ mich im Zimmer ein. Am Himmel dunkle Wolken ziehen, in dem hab ich meine Medizin. Und warte hier im Daunenbett, bis die Sonne untergeht. Und dann reißt sich der Puppe den Kopf.
Time to go. I will enjoy the remaining seconds.
international.
That's the end of the concert. It was amazing, it was magnificent. I will share my thoughts about it, but first I have to escape from this crowd. We are at the end of the concert and it was breathtaking. You know, most of the time we can talk about the performance of the drummer or guitarist or the vocals, but in this time, in this performance, Rammstein acted like a machine. There's a magic dust, you know, you can see the hands of the gods kind of stuff. You know, it's inhumane, it was inhumane, and because of it I really enjoyed it. Instead of trying to listen the snare, trying to configure the equipment behind the guitar tone, I just experienced the stuff, and because of it I'm really happy. I'm listening to Rammstein for nearly 20 years and it was my first time, and because of it, it was also a special moment for me. And now we have to wait till 6 a.m. It's 1 a.m. in here in Reggio Emilia, and we have to wait till 6 a.m. for the train, and then we will return to the Milano, where's our hotel, and that's all about concert. Now we will wait the train and we will return to Milano. If the delivery happens, there's something special waiting for me in the hotel room, and I will show what it is. And now we are sitting in a skate park, and let me show you around. It's beautiful, it's lovely. Also the local people chilling and playing and hanging around at 1 a.m. You know, it's a hot place. I'm at train station with my wife, and it has a kind of post-apocalyptic feeling because everyone is sleeping on the floor. All the vending machines are either broken or empty. There were 30 or 40,000 people. Actually, I kind of like the feeling of the region because probably it's an old industrial place. Actually, the place around the concert area, it was crowded. People were hanging and drinking and eating, and there were lots of different options. It's kind of problematic, you know, because of the loudness, because of the crowd, because of all the trashes, etc. But I think they find a solution. I hope you are still following the video. I hope you are enjoying what you see. See ya. We are on the train going to Milano. After 2 hours of sleep, I woke up to handle the situation about the delivery because there's an issue. You know, I put my Turkish phone number on the delivery and it's the delivery day, but instead of calling the hotel or trying to reach out to me from WhatsApp or email, etc., they just labeled the item as refused by receiver. And then we tried to reach to the shipping company. Delivery will be happen in this day. Probably the package will be delivered today. And while waiting waiting for it. We are going to Chinatown to see some different places, you know, experiencing different cultures, seeing people of different cultures. This video isn't about reviews, it isn't about guitar tone, isn't about amplifiers. We are just hanging around, seeing different stuff. So let's see what we have in here. It's some nice beer. I'm not sure about the origin, but I drank it yesterday during the concert and I really enjoyed it. And the best beer on a hot summer day is the cold one, and it's really cold, so I enjoyed it. So here's the monument. As you can see, there are cemeteries of different people, but as you know, I drank some beer and I'm not sure about the culture in here, but I won't go in there since I'm a little bit tipsy. It feels kind of disrespectful, so I just want to show the monument. I'm not sure about the actual name. Also, I think the place is closed today. I'm not sure. So funniest thing just happened. I just saw a delivery truck, you know, with the delivery company's brand on it, on the lights while waiting the red light. And I rushed into it. I tried to explain myself, but he had no English and he said sorry and move forward. And I'm walking to the hotel. I hope they did the delivery. Let's find out. So I had some issues with the delivery. I waited it yesterday for the whole day, and now I'm on the depot and I'm waiting for the opening hours. I also came here yesterday, but it was 7 p.m. and it was closed. I talked about a security guy, and as they say, they lost one of my packages. You know, I ordered some stuff. One of them was an amplifier, and the other package contains a pedal board and a processor, yeah. And I'm waiting for all of those, and I hope I can find both packages because tomorrow I am returned to my home. And let's find out what will happen. What am I doing in here? So we find the pedal board and the HX stump. Also, they sent a cool magazine, and now we are waiting for the amplifier. It's also my beautiful wife again and again. Also, the amplifier is in here, but they need to find it. Actually, they process some other items to access to the amplifier's box. And now we will wait for an hour, and they are really helpful. We were waiting, and then another angry, bold Italian guy came with a little bit of negative attitude, and he was talking in Italian and I couldn't understand it, but my wife said he's saying the package is gone or the package is lost or it's not here or something like it. And then they said again it's in here, you just have to wait for a few hours. So I hope you get my challenge, I hope you get my anxiety. And now we are returning to the hotel. We are at the depot again to pick up the other package, and we're waiting the opening hour. I just gave the papers and waiting for my delivery. So it's finally here. I finally got the product, got the amplifier. Here's the box, as you can see, but I won't show the amplifier itself. But you can see it's here, but I won't show it much. So this is the delivery situation, and I finally handled it with the help of the hotel, with the help of the delivery company, and obviously with the help of my wife, because we are trying to carry this thing. It's 25 kilograms. It will be a real challenge for us. We are at the end of our journey. First of all, Rammstein, flawless, just flawless. If you have the chance, you should definitely see them, definitely touch you. You know, you can feel the heat, you can smell the
burning metal. Besides that, Italy is a great country. Perfect food, perfect people. I have a little bit of issue about the underground. I bump into this situation 4 times. In every one of them, I tried to stop them. Actually, I stopped them. They are trying to bypass with you. They are following you. Probably they are picking the tourists. On the first time, I warned them politely. On the second time, I also pushed him back. On the third time, I just cursed into his face. All of them are different people, by the way. And on the fourth time, I just said, "You're the fourth person, and why are you doing this? Have some dignity." Because I just bored from the situation. It's not right. And if you're one of them, I have some good words for you. But I know those are not the representatives of the Italian people. As you know, most of the time they were great. Sometimes they act a little bit individualish. I purchased an amplifier and it was 30 kilogram and I carried it for nearly 2 kilometers. Only just one person offered help. In my country, in Turkey, the whole street tries to carry the weight with you. But people just watching. In here, maybe it's European attitude. I'm not sure. I'm not complaining. It's just different for me. It's not what I used to, but it's okay. They are not my worker. They are not my helper. They are not living for me. I have to do it myself, and I did it myself. My other observation is the Italian people is really beautiful, both males and females, and I'm not saying in a creepy way. They look great. They look really healthy. I explained the healthiness of the people, and I think it's because of the food, quality of the food. Even the cheapest Italian food is great, and I think it's because of the quality of the material, the raw material, the cheese, the flour, the water. And when a nation eats healthy food, they look healthier. And my wife asked me, what was your favorite dish? What was your favorite meal? I said, I can't pick. I ate 3 different pizza from 3 different places, and we ate some other doughy, meaty stuff. I can't remember the names, but every one of them tastes great. Also, I think they are not eating junk food because the prices of the junk foods are crazy. Probably they prefer to eat a margarita for the same price of a Kinder or a Milka chocolate bar. In general, great people, great food, great country, great streets, great historic places. I really enjoyed the trip. I really enjoyed the concert. And now I'm closing the video and I will return to Istanbul and then I will fly again to Ankara, to my home. Burzum is waiting for me. My dog, her name is Burzum. I really missed her. Now let's hit the road.
So finally I'm at home. We arrived. Actually we arrived maybe 7 or 8 hours ago, but I couldn't find the power to shoot the ending of the video because we were totally exhausted. We tried to catch maybe everything during this trip. Our Ankara to Istanbul flight was delayed, maybe 2 or 3 hours delayed. And then also the Milano flight from Istanbul to Milano also delayed. And it was always a hassle for us. And to go to the Rammstein concert in Reggio Emilia, we catch the train from Milano last minute. The delivery, the package came to me. Actually, I grabbed it. I took it actually from them. I took the package from them. On the last day of our trip, actually, we had another day, but we spent the whole day on the airport. So it was the last active day in the Milano. Then our last challenge was Istanbul to Ankara flight, the flight to home. We purchased the tickets with 2 hours gap because we just need a stamp and then we are good to go because all of those bags are connected. It was a transit flight, but then the Milano to Istanbul flight 1 hour delayed, and when we touched to the ground, flights start boarding, and after all of those passport checks and security checks, we catch the Ankara flight on the very last minute, and we were totally exhausted. We rushed into the gate from one side of the airport to the other side, and the Istanbul Istanbul airport is really huge. Luckily, we are at home. We catch the flight. And when we arrived, first I checked the amplifier. It's fine. It's perfect. Actually, I pushed lots of t-shirts into the amplifier to protect the tubes. And also the case worked really well, you know, all of these foams, etc. And I connected the amplifier. I just checked the audio. I just checked the signal and it was fine. It was working. And even at this moment, I didn't play the amplifier because I couldn't find the chance. I just took a shower and then I sleep, and then now I'm awake with my sweet girl. Burzum, she's sleeping. Burzum, kızım. Şşt. She's the most careless dog that I ever seen. She's always making this noise. She's the funniest. I love her. Anyway, this is the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed the whole content. It was my first time and it went more of a touristic vlog instead of some concert stuff. But I hope you enjoyed what you see. If you enjoyed the content, please don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and please don't forget to leave your opinions in the comment section. Till the next video, see ya.